This is Rya. Happy March 4th. It is the day that tells you to go forward. And so I am marching forth. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, my very first video. Are you ready for the cheesy kettle drums? I am not sure that I want to keep that music. Let me know in the comments if I should keep that or we should ditch that altogether. So this channel is about queer spirituality. So I used to be a fundamentalist. I had a deconversion experience in 2013 when I realized that my fundamentalism, instead of making me a better person, was making me a worse person. I remember it was a Wednesday night and I was driving into church to lead worship music practice, and all of a sudden I just felt overwhelmed and I pulled over on the side of the road and I just started weeping. And I thought, I can't be a fundamentalist or an evangelical any longer. Shortly after that, I started coming to terms with my own queer identity as being transgender, and on Memorial Day of 2015, I transitioned from living my life socially as a man to living as a trans woman. I tried finding my place in the progressive church, but I just couldn't make it work, so I took some time off of church entirely. Then a couple years ago, I hooked up with the folks at Metropolitan Community Churches, which is the only Christian denomination that is explicitly focused on serving the queer community. And I ended up becoming a pastor in care, which means that I can be in leadership functions, but I just can't marry and bury. But I've been watching a lot of Atheist Tube over the past year, and you know how that goes. That started producing a lot of cognitive dissonance. One of the things I know about myself is that when I sit quietly and just listen, I can hear a still small voice, not audible, but just in my head, giving me guidance. And that voice leads me to make decisions that make me more authentically human. Like, I will realize ways that I could be more loving towards people, or I will find some way of wisdom through a difficult situation, or I'll be reminded of some stupid thing that I've done that I've been trying to justify to myself, but I actually need to go put right. So I place a high value on that still small voice. And I was just feeling so torn up inside because I was feeling like epistemologically I just no longer had the foundation to support the faith that was so important to me. And as I was praying, I felt like God said, I'm going to give you the answer that you've been looking for. So I sat down that night and I started scrolling through my YouTube feed, and a Dear Mr. Atheist video came up. And that night, Jimmy was responding to a Christian woman that had sent him a message, and he said this.
You decided to send me this message, and undoubtedly you felt like something made you want to send that message. Now, you've attributed that to being God, and I'm sure that you had some moment of like, this might be the thing that makes the difference. With the power of Christ, I'm going to shoot that off. Instead, I'm going to make an episode about it, and actually your message is ultimately going to lead to more atheists. Oops, that's embarrassing.
So that night I just threw my hands up in the air and I was like, I can't keep doing this anymore. I can't keep building my life and my values and my vocation on things like the cosmological argument that I just don't believe anymore. I guess I'm an atheist. So in a sense, God led me to become an atheist. So here's where I'm at. I still trust that still small voice. And I'm hopeful that that voice has some kind of a connection with something bigger than me, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just part of my brain. Instead of making claims about that, I'm just saying, I don't know. So I feel like I have a different perspective now on these conversations that are happening in YouTube. On the one hand, I resonate deeply with the atheist community. Let's face it, all of the cool kids in the conversations that I was a part of on my old YouTube channel, every single one of them was an atheist. I still have deep sympathies with a faith perspective, and I've spent a lot of time studying the Bible in Greek and Hebrew. I don't actually think that the Bible is the Word of God anymore, at least not in the sense that I used to, where everything that it says must be right. In fact, I've actually come to think that it's a pretty misogynistic and just kind of yucky book. But at the same time, I've been really formed by it. So here's where I'm at on this channel. Number one, I want to take a phenomenological approach to God talk. That is to say, let's limit our discussion about God to talking about things like experiences that people describe about seeming to experience the divine without assuming beforehand either way what must be behind those experiences. Number two, religious pluralism. That most major religious expressions worldwide are responses to those divine experiences. And I don't need to start with a priori assumptions that they are untrue or inauthentic in any way. And number three, a genderless view of the divine. That is to say, I will never use he, him pronouns in my own conception of the divine. And it's one of the things that I love about metropolitan community churches is that we have a policy internationally that we will not gender God. Now, it does lead to some really strange verbal constructions, like instead of saying himself, we use words like God's self. And that can get a little bit clunky, but overall, I really resonate. I'm not exactly sure yet where this channel is going to go, but I expect that I'll be talking about things like the damage caused by religion, things that everybody seems to get wrong when they talk about the Bible. I'll be working out my own theology, or maybe a theology, or maybe theology, which is a feminine conception of God. And I'll probably talk about ancillary issues like gender and sexuality, culture. You guys, I am so excited to be starting this channel. Please like, I actually don't care if you like this video. Just subscribe to my channel. I'm a narcissist and I want you to watch me. It's my very first video. It would mean so much. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's an easy way to show your support. And feel free, if you're feeling it, drop a respectful comment down below. Let's get some dialogue going. I am very excited to have you here. Thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.